All right, we're going to review all the 2025 MLS jerseys. Here they all are together. We'll go one by one. This is Atlanta United. Uh, Very true to their usual look. They are traditionally called the Five Stripes, and very strong, very on-brand look for them. So nothing experimental about this one, but in my opinion, nothing wrong with that. You're going to see in all of these MLS jerseys that they're trying to also add these little icons to give the jersey, I guess, a little bit more of like details that you can think about. I'm not sure what this globe means over here. Atlanta United over here. But yeah, strong, iconic jersey for Atlanta United. Here's Austin FC. Traditionally, they have had black and green stripes, very similar to Sassuolo in Serie A. Also, shout out to Siete. They make some really good chips. Um, I think this is a downgrade for Austin FC because they've been a striped team and they are typically called verde and black. But this one is very void of black. I know that it has like the black stripes of Adidas and stuff like that, but if that's literally their nickname, I think this is erasing a specific aspect of their consistent look. I am a fan of having a consistent, iconic look for your team, especially for your home jersey. I I understand if you want your secondary or your third kit to be more more experimental, more of kind of like a one-off thing, but having, I think, a downgrade, a de-evolution of their usual look of green and black stripes stinks. If a team is usually a solid color and then they kind of have these almost like faded stripes, which actually Inter Miami's jersey does, home jersey does that, then I understand. But going from a striped look to a barely striped look like this, to me is a downgrade. So yeah, not a fan of the Austin FC look. This is Chicago Fire's secondary. Um, I think the ad, that which I do consider a factor in the look of a jersey. I think the ad, um, like this, like this circle is like way bigger than, well, not way bigger, but it is bigger, slightly bigger than the Chicago Fire logo itself. I think this car circle too much. I think if it was just the Carvana thing, like just these words bigger, I think it would actually look a lot cooler. Um, but that's kind of nitpicky, and a lot of times not even up to the team to decide. That is an agreement between the team and sponsor, of course. Um, you're also going to see in these MLS jerseys this year, there's a lot of these watermark designs, almost like hidden designs. You really only see these when you're up close to the jersey. When you're watching far away from TV, there's no chance you're seeing these details. Um, but yeah, you're gonna see these watermark designs a lot more. This is a secondary kit, so I don't really put too much stock in the secondary kits usually. Chicago Fire's home shirt I think is really good and is a return to form for them, having the white stripe across the middle. So this secondary jersey I think is a good complement to that traditional home shirt that they have. So nothing spectacular here, but okay. I just kind of have like a nitpicky issue with the ad. All right, this is FC Cincinnati. You see, they have the All for Cincy. They have the year they were established over here. Um, they went with this diagonal stripe. Um, their team in the past, like back when they were a lower division team, had a stripe across the middle, just a normal horizontal stripe across the middle, like where this ad would be. They actually made a pretty famous U.S. Open Cup run with a jersey that had a stripe across the middle. So I think this is kind of a shout out to that. But on merit, I think the diagonal stripe is, I don't know, kind of weird. Um, like it just looks kind of messy. Um, I also don't like the different blues. So we have a navy blue here. We have also a navy blue that's like a different type of navy blue, and then we have royal blue over here. I don't really like the clash of blues. Um, Also going with an orange Adidas logo. I think it should have been white, or like this is like a silvery, like a metallic white. I think it should have been white because we have the white here, with the white in the ad. I think the Adidas logo should have been white too. Um, I see now that the logo, I'm noticing now that the logo itself has this diagonal stripe, so I guess it's a shout out to that. But it, I don't think it's, I think the colors are just like all over the place, and that's my issue with it. Okay, Columbus Crew. Um, Man, this is a weird collab. I don't know what the reason for collabing with Goosebumps, like the children's horror books. I don't know where this collab comes from. I don't know if the author is from Columbus or something. I have no clue what this what this collab is from. But I'm just looking at the jersey on merit, and I think it's very strong. Um this is a secondary shirt for Columbus Crew. Their primary is that yellow with the black as the secondary color. Um, but I this design is pretty cool. Even if I didn't know it was Goosebumps or whatever, which is a very tiny little tag here on the bottom of the shirt. Um, I just think this is a cool look. Like if you zoom in, again, these are the type of details you really only see if you're going up close. Oh wow, I went really far away that time. um, but I just think it's really strong, and I want to compare. You see how everything is yellow here? Even the logo, they made it all yellow, which it usually isn't. Usually the C is also white, um, and I think the words are white too. But for this specific jersey, they made it all yellow. And if you compare that to the FC Cincinnati one, look how the colors are all over the place. And this one, I just think it's a much stronger look. Um, so yeah, I'm usually not a fan of like these weird uh, sub designs, like these graphic designs in the shirt. But some of these jerseys this year for MLS had some really good watermark designs or really good graphics. Some not so good, but I do like this one. I don't know why. Uh, I'm usually not a fan, but I do like this one. Okay, this is Charlotte FC. Man, the first thing that stands out to me is how much better this logo is than their standard logo. Let me look up there. I mean, it's not a bad logo. It's just like there are so many logos that look like this with Charlotte Football Club, um, and you have the crown in the middle. Look how much better this logo is. Like, look how much more unique that logo is. I just think that's so cool. I would switch this if I were Charlotte FC. I would switch this to our official logo today. It just looks so much cooler in my opinion. This is also a secondary jersey for Charlotte. Um, I love the watermark here. I mean, they do want to go with this whole like royalty, Queen City, I think is what they call Charlotte. Although I think there's another city that's also they also claim to be called the Queen City. But anyway, they have this little shield over here. You can see North and South Carolina united. You have the crown that is in the normal logo for them. I think this watermark is really cool. This is a really cool black jersey with metallic or like a silver, which also gives kind of a like a royal type of look. They also have this castle thing on the back here. I can't really read what that says. but that would be on the back of the neck, right here where my mouse is. So I think this is a fire black jersey, mainly this logo. I just think it's so good. Okay, here's Colorado. They are called the Rapids, and we have a graphic of water. Um, I just think this doesn't look cool. Like straight up, this looks like when they do that Adidas promotion where they like make stuff with recycled materials or whatever. This looks like one of those jerseys. This doesn't look like a Colorado Rapids jersey. Um, I mean, shout out to this logo. That's pretty cool. This is obviously referencing the Colorado flag itself. Um, but man, this graphic. Again, this is a secondary jersey, so I kind of give it a pass. Teams tend to make their secondary jersey more of like a one-off experiment that is just unique for that year, and they stay more true on their primary shirt. But I just don't think this graphic is cool enough. I think you could have done something cooler with water. Charlotte FC actually had a a cool water themed shirt. I think it's their current home jersey because they rotate every 2 years. But this is not a good water graphic, in my opinion. You can do a way better water graphic than this. All right, FC Dallas secondary. Um, Dallas has been doing this thing where they do shout outs to when they used to be called the Dallas Burn. That was black and red and like a tan color involved in there too. Also LH here for Lamar Hunt being a founder of this team. Lamar Hunt's a founder of multiple MLS teams actually. But yeah, this is I think a really good secondary shirt. It complements the primary shirt of FC Dallas. Looks very Texan with the color scheme, um, while also being a reference to their Dallas Burn days. So I think this is a really good secondary shirt for them. Their primary shirt I think is really cool, but that was new last year, which is why it's not appearing in this list. DC United, this is an instant F tier. I don't know why we have the El Dorado design. I don't care like what like thing that we're honoring here. Whatever this DC United thing with the heart thing is and the different colors. This is called the Soul Kit. I don't care like what the reason is. You still gotta make a good jersey. Make a good jersey. Like no matter what you're, even when I was talking about the whole FC Dallas Burn thing, it's like, okay, that's not enough to make it a good jersey. I think it's a good jersey because in terms of design, and it's like its strength of design, not just the intangible stuff. The intangible aspect of this shirt, which I'm still not sure what it even is supposed to be, um, is not enough to make it a good jersey. This these colors in here look so bad. Looks so bad. Instant F tier. All right, here's Houston Dynamo. They too have one of these like uh, kind of subdued graphics in the shirt, like a floral type of thing. They are orange. I think it's this is a primary shirt, so it does need to be, I think, true to form. This is a 20-year anniversary kit when they switched from San Jose Earthquakes to be the Houston Dynamo. They had a crazy run where they won MLS Cup back to back. I'm pretty sure. Um, so that was like right at the beginning of their time as a expansion franchise, and you know they haven't won an MLS Cup since. They had a couple times that they went back to MLS Cup, losing to LA Galaxy. But yeah, they have a pretty good history to you know reference back to. So 20 seasons, I think it's you know worth bringing up for them. So yeah, orange primary shirt. It has the light blue, the celeste, sky blue that those those jerseys from the MLS Cup days had as well. That their jerseys did not have that before. They were more just Houston Dynamo for a little while was just orange and black mainly, but they added this light blue. Okay, here's Sporting Kansas City. I am a SKC fan myself. SKC has really committed to the rugby stripes, horizontal stripes, for their jerseys, just their jerseys in general, for several seasons now. I think these stripes don't look very good. Uh, they've done other rugby stripe shirts that were better than this. Even like thin line stripes that I don't know if those would qualify as rugby stripes, but this it's like broken up line thing. I don't know what kind of line this is called, but I don't think it looks very good. I also don't like how in general a lot of these teams that have the MLS Cup stars, like they don't stand out enough. Like look at this Colorado Rapids one. You can't even see it. Um, you know, Columbus Crew, I think they intentionally made it contrast with everything else. So when I go back to SKC shirt, it's like, yo, can I get a little bit more props for the MLS Cups that we won? um, so I don't think it's terrible, but there are better ways to do rugby stripes, and this is one of the not not as good ways to do them. When you see the jersey from afar, like in a stadium or on TV, you don't see as much these details. But when you're wearing it up close, or you're wearing it outside, uh, like you know, you're wearing it as a fan. Uh, I don't really like these stripes. LAFC with a secondary, very clean look. I mean, the metallic gold is so good. Um, that's the only way to do gold, in my opinion. When if you have gold in another way, like just, I mean, in reality, it's just that's just tan. That's just like a light brown, and that does not look good. But this this is very clean, very solid. Just two colors. Um, should have made the star gold. Like, come on. I don't know why people keep doing this with the white stars. I don't know if it's mandated by the league or something. It has to be white. Maybe that's it. um, yeah, but that's LAFC. This is LA Galaxy. I think this is super cool. This is a secondary shirt. I think they went all in on a kind of like a galactic gradient look between this navy blue and this magenta, this kind of darker purple. I think it looks really cool. This stack of stars though is a mess. Again, some leagues have specific mandates of how they do the stars and and all that, but this is such a mess. Why is one of them gold and then one of them is way bigger than the other ones? That's super annoying to me. But man, this design is really cool. This is one of those really cool experimental jerseys where you're just like, okay, yeah, if I'm an LA Galaxy fan, I probably want to get that one because this is one of those good years of those experimental looks. You have your primary white one that LA Galaxy traditionally uses, but this is a really cool secondary. Okay, so here's Inter Miami. Inter Miami actually gets two jerseys. I guess their jersey sales were that good that they're just like, okay, we're definitely milking that cow. We're gonna have two Inter Miami jerseys. Um, I love the center stripe. I love the off black, like the gray, the black and the gray. I love the simplicity of it. I think it looks very cool, very strong. This Royal Caribbean cruise ad is ginormous. Um, I'm not a fan of how huge it is. But I do think the fact that we have like a very centered design goes with this, like how the line is literally right on the tip of that crown. So I think actually the design and the sponsor do go well together in this case. But I've always just felt, well, they switched to this sponsor last season. I've always felt that this sponsor, the logo is ginormous. Like it's so much bigger than the Adidas and the Inter Miami logo. Um, I'm kind of surprised Inter Miami didn't do kind of like how Charlotte did, how there's like a simplified version of the logo rather than like the full logo. Um, Kind of surprised we didn't see just like Miami or just with the two herons. This is also becoming pretty popular in other leagues like the Premier League. Uh, in fact, Liverpool just made it their official logo, their simplified one with the bird rather than the other one that was like a shield with a bird and these torches. Um, so I was kind of surprised they didn't do a switch like that for this one. But yeah, very. I think it's a very strong black jersey for Inter Miami. They had a couple black jerseys that were basically like the same for 2 or 3 years, but this one this one I think is different enough for it to be like, yeah, that's a cool unique design for a secondary, and I'm getting that one. Well, I'm not saying I am. I'm saying in that hypothetical. Okay, here's Inter Miami's primary jersey. Um, this is like the Austin FC one with kind of the not highly contrasted stripes, but just two different versions of pink next to each other. The pink jersey of Inter Miami is so iconic now. Um, there's a few other teams around the world that have pink jerseys, but you can see the pink jersey of Inter Miami from a mile away, and like, yeah, that's an Inter Miami jersey. I'm sure Messi number 10 is on the back. Um, so I think it would be crazy if Inter Miami went away from a solid pink look. That'd be like Argentina going away from the the blue and white stripes look. Like, you just don't do that. You should be grateful that you have the iconic look that people can see from a mile away. So just stick with it. You don't need to reinvent it. People just want the pink jersey. So I'm glad they didn't go like too crazy with these stripes, like pink and black stripes. Man, if we get a jersey like that one year, I'd like to see how they'd make that design work. Cause man, like if imagine if this darker pink was just straight up black or like white or something. I think that would be insane and very ugly. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of this striped look personally, but I did actually see them playing it tonight against. They play against NYC, um, and I thought it looked pretty good. Of the two, I actually like the secondary more, but I tend to like black more, just personally. Um, but yeah, it to contrast it with Austin FC. Austin FC has usually had stripes, and then they downgraded to have more of like a solid color shirt. I think that's the wrong way to do it. Inter Miami traditionally has had a solid color shirt. So for them to go full stripes, like high contrasted stripes, I think would also be a mistake because it's too different from what they are traditionally. So at least Inter Miami stayed more on the solid color side as opposed to Austin FC betraying the look that they've had previously. Okay, here's Minnesota United. Look, here's another water look. Got a lot of people going with the waters. Minnesota and the Great Lakes and all that. Um, yeah, so this is a primary shirt, I believe, for Minnesota United. The other one they have is um, black with like a galaxy, like stars and stuff design. I think it's a reference to the Northern Lights or something like that. Yeah, so this is an example. of a logo that is simplified. The logo, the full logo of Minnesota United has a shield that says, Minnesota United FC, or it just says MNUFC or something like that. But this is like a simplified logo. I think that looks really strong. The graphic is okay. Like, it's not too distracting. Um, it's one of those things you see more up close, and I don't think it ruins the jersey like it does for the Colorado Rapids one. I think it blends in enough with the other color that it's you can kind of overlook it. Uh, I mean, I'm usually not the biggest fan of graphics on a soccer jersey, but this one's all right, I guess, and it does stay with Minnesota's sky blue color scheme. So yeah, they definitely didn't betray their usual primary look. CF Montreal, they were extremely controversial when they rebranded because their logo was like a snowflake. Their logo was so bad that they switched it back like basically right after they announced it. They already knew it was a mistake, and like a year later they switched back to have this logo, but they kept. But also, what's important to know is they were not called. They used to be called Montreal Impact, which you can see right here that they have a very minuscule shout out to. They think this is enough to appease the fans. Many of the fans still just call it their team the Montreal Impact. They hate that it's called CF Club de Foot Montreal. But this jersey is 100% a shout out to that look that they used to have. Another thing that came with that rebrand is they switched to basically just have a black jersey, and then their secondary was a gray jersey. So it was devoid of all character, all personality, all of the brand that those fans were associated with. And there's a team, as you see right here, founded in 1993. This is a team that existed before the MLS expanded to Montreal. So it's not the same as changing an expansion side that recently joined MLS. So I think this is a good step for them. I think they learned from that mistake. Unfortunately, they still are not called the Montreal Impact. Um, a lot of clubs just kind of feel, I guess they feel this pressure to make their club sound more more European or traditionally soccer, with just like city name with FC, or in this case CF. Anyway, the jersey itself I think is really good, and it's just your traditional Montreal Impact jersey. All right, New England Revolution is a secondary shirt. They have a reduced version of their logo, or a simplified version of their logo, removing the circle with the words, and they just have the R with the like these rings around it. Um, Clearly a reference to these pine trees in in the Northeast. You have this triangle on the back. That's also on the flag of I believe either Massachusetts or Boston, like, has their own flag or something. I don't remember. But I see the fans wave around that flag all the time. It has a tree on it. So definitely a shout out to that flag. Again, this is secondary, so the mint green is definitely a choice. It does feature the navy blue that the primary jersey of the Revolution has. Um, so yeah, this is, I think, an experimental one. I actually think this is a pretty good ad. Like, the way it looks with the rest of the jersey, I think matches. Kind of makes you think of that minty feeling of shaving cream that goes with Gillette. So I don't know if that was on purpose. um, but yeah, I actually think the ad is pretty strong, and it goes well with the shirt. Nashville SC. Um, Man, Nashville. I think they have so little to work with their color scheme and with their logo. They have like there's so little to work with, or maybe they have just not really shown me that they have much to work with. They're a relatively new team. They came in the same year as Inter Miami, but man, they've had some really just like run of the mill, like just like the standard Adidas, just change the colors and then put our logo on it. Like they're not coming up with anything unique for their jersey. You know, their logo has like a sound wave type of theme to it because of it's the recording city, it's music city. But they really have not done cool stuff with that. I mean, because that's what their logo has, so that's what they have to work with. I don't really think they've done cool stuff with that. They had the Johnny Cash jersey, the Man in Black. I mean, that one just was just cool because it was just like, I mean, I just love black jerseys. Just think they look dope. But in my opinion, that doesn't really count. That's just like a collab jersey. That's just like a one off. But Nashville SC have not really shown me that their branding is very strong. Their home jersey is whatever. It just has like a stripe across the chest. It's just yellow with a blue stripe across the chest, and then this is just whatever the stock Adidas jersey was with their color scheme. Okay, here's NYCFC. Um, they have one of these graphics in it. I don't know what this graphic is. I don't think it looks very good. Uh, like honestly, this jersey would just look better if it was just the normal, sky blue, Manchester City blue. I think this little tag here, this doesn't really change that much for me of the jersey. I think this tag here, it just looks so New York City. Like this looks like one of those plaques you would see just like walking around, like one of those historic plaques. So I think that looks pretty cool. Um, it has the NYC FC monogram or monograph. I forget what the correct term is on the back. This jersey would definitely just look better without the graphic. Here's Orlando City. Going experimental here with their primary jersey, so that's quite risky. They went for like a hurricane storm theme. I think this is called the Storm Kit actually, as a lightning bolt on the back too. I mean, I get that they're from Florida, but what does this have to do with being the Lions? That's their nickname, the Lions. This has nothing to do with that. So, like, what are we doing? I I think the different types of purples look weird. Um, like in my opinion, if I were Orlando City, I would be leaning into the lion aspect or like the regal aspect of the fact that it's a lion. Like, how Real Salt Lake also does that. Um, I don't get this storm theme, and I don't think the design looks very good for their primary jersey. I think this is too weird. This is too different for a primary jersey. Maybe it'll grow on me. It does kind of make me think for a second about the secondary jersey that Argentina brought to the 2022 World Cup. The blue one with kind of like the magenta flames coming up, or honestly, not even magenta. I would call it more like lavender. That one was really weird at first, but then like I thought about it for like a day or two. I was like, man, actually that looks pretty dope, and I got that jersey, and I actually wore it today when I played soccer. um, I just don't know what the reason for this storm look is. Um, think gold. I think gold ad, gold logo, gold Adidas logo, gold stripes will look better. Orlando City has done gold before, and I just think it would complement the the jersey better. Um, and I think it would contrast with the purple better than just straight up white. All right, so here's the Philly Union secondary, and this is a tough look. Um, again, me personally, I'm not usually a fan of graphics in a soccer jersey, but this just looks really cool. Has the lightning, you know, a Benjamin Franklin reference with him with getting the lightning in the on the in the key when he flew the kite. Um, over here with the simplified version of their logo, just the snake, the "Don't tread on me" snake. Um, I think just really strong from from the Union. They've gone with that color scheme for their secondary jerseys for several years now, including the year they went to MLS Cup and they lost to LAFC. They wore this jersey, not this exact one. I mean, they wore their light blue jersey for that MLS Cup. Um, so they've kind of stuck with this as their secondary shirt, and I respect them for it. And I think these lightning bolts just look so cool. All right, Portland Timbers. They took the watermark game, I think, to the next level because the watermark is actually, I think, really good thematically with the timbers being, when you cut a tree stump and you look at the you look at the lines. I forget what these lines are called. Um, yeah, they also have a very storied team, 50-year anniversary. That's dope. And yeah, sometimes they go with more of a lighter yellow. Sometimes they go with more of like a Green Bay Packers type of yellow, like a cheddar cheese type of yellow. Um, they definitely went on on the darker yellow side for this one, and I think it's a very strong look. Sometimes I've also messed with the type of green that they've used as well. But I do like the darker green. Like this just looks like this is very on brand for them, and doesn't mess with it too much. And even the watermark, another thing that I tend to not really care about that much, I just think is a really cool touch coming out from the Timbers logo. Um, yeah, New York Red Bulls. I think the black and the red is very bold, very strong. But man, the tan color, this tan color stinks. Straight up, this tan color is garbage. they Red Bull have kind of a tough hand to deal with, like changing up their branding because they have to have this ginormous double Red Bull logo as their sponsor. It's also on the patch of the team, so it takes up a lot of real estate, and it's they as a company, I'm assuming they require that it stays the red of the Red Bull, the yellow behind it. Can't change that. So I guess I guess sometimes New York Red Bulls are just like, well, whatever. We'll just make a jersey that's the color scheme we want and not worry about the Red Bull logo. But the Red Bull ad and the patch look completely out of place with the rest of the jersey. Um, and yeah, maybe that's because the sponsor kind of their hands are tied with their sponsorship thing. But I would design the jersey around that, knowing that that's a factor, rather than just not care about it. But even if you change the color of these Red Bulls, I'm not even sure this would be a good jersey anyway. Like this tan is just a terrible color. Just have a white jersey at this point. All right, here's Real Salt Lake. I mean, props to them for having the for having the guts to make a checkerboard jersey. This is a secondary jersey. Um, it does kind of make me think about like medieval times, and they do have Real Salt Lake. They have a royal branding about them. Um, Again, look at this MLS star. You can barely see it. I don't know if it's a league mandate that it has to be white, but this looks so bad. It should definitely be the yellow that this other stuff is. Select Health is probably mad that their ad looks like this because you can only see like half of the letters and half of the logo on it. So they're probably upset with the way this looks. But I think this is an interesting, fresh idea, and it makes me, like I said, think of medieval times, think of like knights and kings and stuff. Um, Definitely a good secondary shirt. That I think it would be a travesty if this was if they just completely switched their primary red to look like the red shirt to just be this. Um, but yeah, I think it's different enough. It's mainly white with the checkerboard look. San Diego FC is a new team this year, and I think so. They have two jerseys. They have this one as their primary, and they have this one as their secondary. Both of these jerseys have such little personality that it's just like if you're trying to launch a team, you know, if I was trying to launch a team, I would try to not have such forgettable jerseys here. These are good like training tops. These are good like this looks like a shirt that the coaches wear on the sideline. This doesn't look like a shirt that is to represent your team on the field. Um, like there are so many teams with there's so many teams with black with well I guess this I can't tell if this is black or more like a navy blue. There's definitely royal blue here on the collar. They have orange, literally FC Cincinnati. There are so many teams with white, with light blue, with navy blue. Like this is Whitecaps color scheme right here. You basically have worse versions of the same color scheme that other teams have. How do you overcome how do you overcome the sameness of a color scheme? It's that the design of the jersey is different enough. And neither of these jerseys accomplish that. The metallic silver, I think, is the only saving grace for this. I like the simplicity of the ad. I do tend to like the word ads more than the big logo ads. I think the words they're good at being an ad and kind of staying out of the way, like less distracting from the rest of the design. Um, but yeah, this is definitely in the uninspiring category, and both of these jerseys for me are a huge missed opportunity for San Diego FC to be a cool team at the start of their time in MLS. Here's the Seattle Sounders, a secondary jersey. We do have kind of a indigenous peoples design. We have this "water is sacred" comment here. I don't know where in the world this is coming from. This "water is sacred" thing. Um, Obviously, I think it like it's just like it's so cringe. Um, but they are Seattle next to the water and stuff. The whole sound thing is like this giant body of water for them. So um, I do understand going with like a water theming for them. Um, think the graphic is. I don't know if I've seen a graphic like this in a while. Actually, I'm kind of thinking of back in the day in like the '90s. Some goalkeeper jerseys had this. I think some Mexican national team jerseys had this. Um, more of like the Aztec type of look. uh, I like the color scheme, but yeah, this is definitely one of those one-off type of jerseys. I mean, Seattle Sounders last year literally had a Bruce Lee jersey, which was red and yellow and black. So it's just like I guess Seattle has kind of just accepted like their secondary jerseys are going to be like completely different types of things. Although this one does have, like I said, kind of a Seattle theming uh, in some way. But good sponsor. I do like the how Christian this looks. um, I like that it stays out of the way. I don't think the proportions are bad, like I've complained about other ads. So lots of different blues in the design, but I think it's an interesting color scheme. Okay, and San Jose. This is so bad. This is so bad. I mean, they didn't even have like a normal web page for the announcement of this jersey. Maybe that's an indication of how bad it is. Um, but San Jose's primary jersey has been garbage for multiple years now. Um, they have a bunch of like newspaper clippings and stuff of stuff in their history, but I just think it looks bad. Like it doesn't look good as a shirt. Maybe it looks cool as an ad, but it doesn't look cool as a shirt. Which that's the main thing. That's what it is, a shirt. So this stinks. St. Louis, uh, love the collar. I tend to really like collar jerseys. You can see here it has this diagonal line watermark. Um, I don't know if that's a reference. If that's a reference to something, yeah, I don't know if that's a reference to something, but I just think it looks cool. Got the flag over here. Um, there's multiple red teams. I think Toronto's the next one. Yeah, see, there's multiple red teams, so how are you going to stand out? And I think they just went with a strong, more simple look. Um, I do like that they have an ad that just stays white rather than being a bunch of other colors to distract from the rest of the stuff. So yeah, I think this is a good primary shirt for them. Here's Toronto FC, global Toronto area. Okay, cool. Um, this one has like this interesting graphic of this kind of semi gradient layered uh, sign. I think that's kind of interesting. Um, yeah, this is one of those that, again, it kind of makes me think of like the Argentina logo, or not logo, the Argentina away jersey for the 2022 World Cup. Maybe this is one of those that would kind of grow on me. Um, but like I said, when there's other teams with red jerseys, how do you distinguish yourself? I do like that Toronto got rid of more of like the gray stripes and stuff because they haven't really had a good all red jersey for a little bit. So I like that they went back to, I guess, more of a all red jersey. I guess this is just like different types of red, but it's primarily their usual red. Vancouver Whitecaps have been going with this throwback look because they're a team that's from the old NASL days in the 70s, and that team had uh, horizontal stripe like this with red numbers on the back. I don't know why they made the Adidas logo lighter blue here. I think it would have been cooler to make it the like the navy blue to go with this. Um, just like kind of offset from this. I don't really like that. Can't really tell what's going on with these sleeves. Um, I think Vancouver Whitecaps have had really good editions of this NASL throwback design, and I like that they've committed to it because I think it's really cool. Um, I think it complements the logo really well. I don't know if this is my favorite version of what they've done, but previously they've had some really good versions of this. And like I was saying before, if you have an iconic primary jersey, I think it is in your best interest to stick with that look with your fans. Um, or even not with your fans, but just other people. They'll see like, oh yeah, that's Vancouver Whitecaps because they always have that stripe, that navy blue stripe across the chest or across the torso of a white jersey. Like you have an iconic look, so be thankful for that and just stay with it. You don't need to change it because you already achieved iconic status. And that brings us to the end of the list. So we're going to do the tier list now. So I'm gonna put in A tier. I think the ones that just, they get they like they're not bad. Like there's nothing bad you could say about them. They get the job done. Um, and they're straight up. So I put that's not an F tier. So I put these three in A tier because they're basically just a repeat of the good form that the jersey was already in, and I don't think you need to reinvent it. I don't know if I'm going to use all these tiers to be honest with you. I think this Inter Miami black one is S tier. Um, I'm gonna put the FC Dallas secondary in B tier. I honestly don't know how much I'm gonna separate. I don't know how much to separate jerseys. Um, yeah, so Houston Dynamo. I'll put this one in tier or A tier. Again, that's kind of just like in the category of it gets the job done and it does it well, and it doesn't really need to be more complicated than that. I put the LAFC secondary in S tier because it just looks so good. Just that gold looks so good. That white looks so good. Um, that's the kind of jersey. Also, it has a collar. I forgot to mention that earlier. That's the kind of jersey that is just cool to wear wherever, like just, going out for an ice cream, as Flavio Asaro would say. Okay, Minnesota United. I'm gonna put this in B tier. Chicago Fire FC is a secondary shirt, so I don't really think it needs to be much more than that. DC United, instant F tier. San Jose, San Jose. I keep writing the wrong one. San Jose, definite F tier. Um, I'm putting San Diego FC in C tier. I did criticize San Diego's jerseys a lot. I don't think they're bad designs. I just think they're so bland and they're so uninspiring that's why they're in C tier. Like this is just a bad design. The San Jose one is a bad design. The DC United one is just a bad design. Um, Real Salt Lake. I'm sure there's a very divisive one. I'm sure there's a very divisive one. Honestly, I'm kind of tempted to put it in S tier because I just think it's such a cool idea to do the checkerboard. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it up there and just make everyone get mad. LA Galaxy S tier definitely. The Charlotte jersey definitely S tier. That logo is fire. FC Cincinnati. Mm, yeah, I'm gonna put that in D tier because I don't like all the different blues that are involved in there. Colorado Rapids, D tier. Philly Union, definitely S tier with this lightning bolt jersey. Um, Sporting KC. I don't even remember what I said about this one, but I'm just gonna put in D tier now because that's what I think now about it. St. Louis City. I'll put this in A tier. Nashville SC. Put in the same category as San Diego. It's not a bad jersey. It's just uninspiring. Orlando D tier with the Storm. Portland Timbers, really good. S tier. New York City FC, the garbage watermark or a garbage graphic jersey. I mean, from a distance, still, it's not like it looks bad. Um, but just that graphic is just it's just so pointless. Like there's no reason why you don't just make that jersey just the normal Man City blue. Columbus Crew, S tier. New York Red Bulls, F tier. Toronto FC. I actually like this one. I'll put it A tier. New England Revolution. um, I don't know. It just feels weird, like because how different it is, and the fact that it's a secondary. I almost feel like I should have a different tier list for secondary jerseys because, in my opinion, it's like a different objective that you're trying to accomplish. Um, Inter Miami with the stripes. Man, uh, wow. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in B tier. I'm gonna put it in B tier. I think the best Inter Miami jersey was the Leagues Cup one with the collar. Um, just just normal pink, like just pink, no graphics, no watermark, no off color stuff, just pink with black stripes, black logos. Um, yeah. So in my opinion, this is a downgrade from the Inter Miami standard look. Sounders FC. I don't really know how to. I don't really know how to feel about this one. Honestly, I think like Seattle. I think like the the reference is cringe. Um, the color scheme is kind of interesting. This kind of like the New England Revolution one. I think it's just like a cool color scheme, interesting design idea. But I don't know how I feel about it. All right, I'm gonna move New England Revolution down to B tier. Um, so yeah, that is my list. Go to presentation mode. Okay, that actually erased everything. I think I got everything the same. Maybe I have FC Cincinnati in a different order. But yeah, there's my list. Um, thank you for watching.